All right, so today what we are going to do is we are going to learn how to make a stamp. All right, so the video will be in here. We'll chat about it a little bit, but basically, step one is to talk to your teacher and figure out what you want on the stamp, whether it's text or a logo or anything like that. If it's South related, you can go to the building share and go from there. It's in IED 2025. Um, I am going to make a custom stamp from the internet. So I'm going to use Ron Swanson silhouette. Okay, so I'm going to do something like that. We are going to save image as. That's a WebP file, which won't work. So we are going to make a snip of this. All right, then I'm going to download that and just make sure you know where you saved it. Then I'm going to open up Corel Draw. Okay, so I have mine at about 4 inches by 4 inches. It doesn't really matter what size, but your actual stamp is going to be no bigger than 2 inches square. So basically, what that means is you could have a 2 inch by 1 inch, or you could do approximately a 1 by 5 inch by 1 by 5 inch, or you could do a circle or something like that. All right, so I'm going to make a stamp of 1 inch by 1.5 inches. So notice how those shifted. If this is on, it'll try to do a ratio of it. So I'm going to change that so I can do an exact 1 by 1.5. Okay, I'm going to make this hairline. All right. And I am going to, because this is going to be the background, I'm going to go down here to fill and I'm going to make it black. All right. So I'm going to make it all the way black and finish. All right. So now I am going to bring in um, my Swanson. Okay. So what you're then going to do is you're going to trace. Now, obviously, this one's a pretty simple logo. The simpler logos, the better. So if your teacher is asking you to do something really fancy, you are going to want to take some time right here to make sure that it is as clean a vector as possible. So I removed color from the entire image and I deleted the original image. Okay. So now what I am going to do, since I want the inverse of this, so I want the rest of it removed, I am going to change this black to completely white. So I moved this all the way up here and clicked OK. Now I am going to move this over here because obviously it's hard to see on a white background, but once you put it onto a black background, it's much easier. And then I am going to type in what Ron Swanson likes to say, which is no. And I am going to change it to, I don't know, something. So let's see, bold. I don't really like that. Let's change it. So I'm looking for something that is fairly significant, just so that it's easy to see. If it's too, if it is too spidery, it's not going to work very well. All right, so obviously if I move that on here, you wouldn't be able to see it. So I need to switch it to, you can either do no fill or white. I kind of prefer white. And then move that over here. Okay, so that is going to be my stamp. Now, what you got here is this is what the stamp is going to be, but in order for it to be a stamp, we are going to need to go up here to mirror, and we're going to need to flip it. All right. So when we flip it, this little mirror, it allows us to see the kind of reverse of it. And then when you hit the stamp, it'll work. All right. So now I'm going to save as. All right. So I'm actually at home right now, but I would go to the building share, South Student, IED 2025, and then stamp. And then I would save it as the teacher's name and then my name. Okay, so we'll act like we're going to make this for Schmidley, or actually, we're just going to say Swanson and then Odom. Okay, so you're saving the Corel Draw file in the building share in the period that you're in the stamp folder. So you'd hit save and go from there. All right, I'll save it here just because I don't have access there. All right, so now what you are going to do is you're going to make a copy of this, paste it, and you are going to cut it in half basically. So you could go 50, you could type in 50% right here if you wanted to. You could say, whoops. All right, and then you could go 50% right here. So 0.5 and 0.75. All right, so that's what we want. So it's going to be half as big. We are going to flip it back. All right. And we are going to change it to the opposite color. All right. So I'm going to make the background white. And I'm going to, all right. And then I'm going to click on this. And sometimes this is tricky. I'm going to push this to the back so that I can click on, maybe. Oh, you know what happened? Okay, so this happens. So this was grouped. So all of it went to white. So what I want to do first is I want to click on the individual things. All right. I'm going to make that black. And I'm going to make that black. And then I'm going to make the border or the background white. All right. So it's going to look like that. So basically the reverse. Now I'm going to hit save. All right, and we are done with the Corel Draw side of it. So the reverse on here, make sure the edge is hairline. And on this one, the normal and the edge is hairline. All right, we are good to go there. So now make a note that this is 1 by 1.5, and we are going to go to Fusion. All right, we are going to make a little stamp in Fusion. So open up Fusion. And it's going to be pretty simple. There's not going to be much fanciness here, but I have a Fusion opened at school, so sometimes this happens. All right, so we're going to turn that off, and we are going to go forward. All right, and now, so I am going to make this. All right, so I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to Create, and I'm going to go here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to make a rectangle that is 1/4 inch bigger than my size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. And since it's 1 by 1.5, I'm going to go 1.25 by 1.75. All right, I'm going to hit finish. Okay. And then I am going to extrude this up a distance of 0.25, so 1/4 inch. Okay. Now I'm going to make another sketch on that surface. I will make this, I'm going to do an offset of this, and I'm going to bring it in about 0.2. All right. 0.2. Okay. Click finish and finish sketch. All right. So this is going to be pretty quick. I'm going to hit another extrude. and I'm going to go up 0.75. All right. So, but with a stamp, you want to be able to hold on to it. So I'm actually going to go out. I'm going to grab this and go out 10 degrees. All right. So we have that. Make sure it's joined. Finish it off. All right. So now, since someone is going to be holding it, we are going to fillet the edges. All right. So 1, 2, 3. You might have to hit the house some. 4, and then make this a little bit smoother. And then I'm going to fillet the top and round it a little bit. Oh, that didn't work. All right. So just round it a little bit. And last but not least, I'm going to make a sketch on the top. And this is where we are going to put what the stamp looks like. So I'm going to go to Create, Center Rectangle, and I'm going to put this in the center. So you might have to go on this edge. All right, and this is going to be whatever half of the other one is. So for mine, that was 0.5 by 0.75. Hit enter, and I'm going to finish my sketch. Okay, so see how this kind of looks like this? Now I am going to extrude this down a distance of the piece of wood that we're going to laser out, which is 0.125. All right. Once that is cut out, this is our stamp. Okay. We're going to glue the actual rubber material to the bottom, and we are going to put some wood material into the top. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to save this. All right. You are going to save this also to the stamp folder. So you're going to go to Building Share, South Student, IED 2025, and then your period, and then stamp, and save this also as um, the teacher and your name. Okay, so we'll save it, and make sure when you save it, you actually know where it's going. Um, so here it's fine to just save, but then what you're going to do, sorry, I misspoke. You are going to go to Utilities, and you are going to go to 3D Print, and you are going to save the STL to that folder. So you're going to save the Fusion file just to Fusion, and then you are going to export this using Utilities, then this, and you are going to send it to, you're going to save it to your computer, but you're going to go to Building Share, South Student, IED 2025, stamp, and you're going to save it as Swanson Odo. All right, that's it.